Hi, folks. Good evening. This is another episode of Kicking It with Kickstand. It's Sunday night, and I've got Napoleon Melton joining me again. So before we get started, I want to once again kind of throw, give this company some publicity here. Rochester Sports Autographs, shoprsa.com. They sent this to me. I guess I got it earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week. I can't recall. Um, and I did an unboxing video on that, so I will share. That's Quan Alexander. He plays for the 49ers. Went to LSU, but I got that as a mystery box. So I want to thank those guys over at Shop RSA. They got all kind of all kind of sports memorabilia signed and authenticated, and it comes with a little letter of authenticity that I have. So yeah, go check those guys out. So anyway, Nappy, what's going on? What's going on with you? How are things going?
Man, things are great, man. I just ordered a whole bunch of DJ equipment. Meltron Entertainment about to be live in effect.
Right, and you're up near Atlanta, correct?
That's correct. Kennesaw, to be exact. Also been working on the definitive NBA GOAT list that I've been working on, and Nappy's Roots is about to be live in a few weeks. I can't wait.
Awesome. Yeah. So folks, we got some people viewing. Again, I think it should be out there. I messaged, but if you've got any comments or questions for us, sports related questions, throw it up there. Hopefully I've got the bug kind of worked out where the comment should be showing up on my end now. I was having some issues. I've had some issues with some past interviews. So if you've got sports related question you want to ask either one of us, go ahead and throw it up there. If you actually want to join, if you send me a message on Facebook, then I can send you a link. If you want to kind of join in on the show. So let me
The more the merrier.
Yes, sir. So the main thing that we were going to kind of discuss today is we know there's, first of all, I guess there's a lot of craziness going on in the world. So we want to just try to kind of stay away from that for right now. We want this to be more of a positive show today. We do have plans to talk about the racial injustices going on in the world. We do want to talk about that at some point, but we got a lot to think about and how to gather our thoughts, and we want everybody involved that can be on the show to be on. So we've got about 3 other guys at least that we definitely want to be on that have got other arrangements they had and couldn't be on tonight. So what we really would like to talk about is, I guess, like the NBA. The NBA is starting back up at the end of July. So Nappy, when you heard that news, what were your thoughts?
I was happy. I've been waiting for this ever since Rudy Gobert got the COVID-19. But I'm glad that they decided on. Okay, well, I wanted them to go to Vegas because that's where all the magic happens. But I guess in Orlando, that's where the magic happens. But my only thing is, from a safety standpoint, Jimmy, funny guy. Okay, I wish they would have stuck it at 16 teams to go straight into the playoffs as opposed to the 22 teams, because I just think there's going to be some random, like, they don't really mean anything type of games. Just go straight to the playoffs. But I do like the fact that they're going to start the NBA season for next year in December. I think free agency is going to start October the 1st. That means the NBA draft will start. They haven't released that information, but probably sometime around August, like the middle, between August, Labor Day, somewhere around there. But I think NBA starting in December is better.
Right.
than starting it like towards the end of October.
Well, when I know the NBA floated around a few ideas, and I know one was having some of these more of the Eastern Coast teams, maybe in Florida, and some of the West Coast teams, like you said, like Vegas or out west somewhere, and kind of be in two different locations to start with. Excuse me. And then I know when they first released the possibility of 22 teams, and I saw like 13 Western Conference and like 9 Eastern. I was like, what are they like? Why is, I didn't understand the rationale behind that, but I read it today. Do you know why it was those teams?
Yes, so based on the winning percentage, the reason why there's 13 Western Conference teams and 9 Eastern Conferences is that those bottom tier teams were within like 5 or 6 games
Right.
from the 8th seed.
Correct.
So they'll play these 8 games, and if the distance between the 8th and the 9th seed is 4 games or less, then they'll play like a play-in series in which the 9th seed has to win
2 in a
2
row.
out of 3 games
Yeah.
to end up getting the playoffs.
Yeah.
I
So
think
yeah.
it's I hate that idea. Just go straight to the playoffs, but Dame Lillard gets his wish because he wanted to play somewhere. He's like, oh, if I don't play, then I'm not going to
Well,
play.
what's interesting is the vote. The vote came down to 29-1
Yes.
in favor, and the one team that voted no was Portland, and Portland is in it. So, which is kind of funny. They only needed 23 teams to vote yes on this particular 22 team field that they were going to experiment with. So they only needed 23 votes, which is 76% of the teams with 30 teams in the league. So yeah, 22 teams will kind of play 8 games. I don't even know how they're going to determine who's going to play who and all that. So I think that'll be kind of interesting to see who plays to see who plays who. I mean, technically, all the Eastern Conference teams could technically play each other because with there being 9 teams, they would all get
round
8.
robin.
They would all get 8 games. They could all get 8 games in. But the Western Conference, they wouldn't all play each other. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that goes. But yeah, I know that they'll kind of start coming back at the beginning of July, I guess, to kind of get back in shape and condition and just kind of get back their bodies back in that shape. So I guess that's what kind of the other 8 games are too, is just kind of to refamiliarize themselves with their teammates and just to kind of get everything going again. I guess. I mean that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, like I get it because they're gonna have to have some warm up game. So I get the 22. I would prefer 16 due to the safety issues related to COVID-19. Also, 16 teams, man. Like if you are in 9th place, you didn't do good enough to get in the top 8 seed.
Yeah.
But the NBA gets their wish to showcase Zion Williamson for 8 more games with the possibility of more. Dame Lillard gets the opportunity to have a Blazers team at full strength. Melo gets the opportunity to play some more and to get into the playoffs.
Right.
And then, these teams, I think they will generate some of the lost revenue
Right.
from this.
Right.
Now,
yeah, I guess too. I mean, you don't want a repeat of the Michael Jordan coming back and the Bulls not being, I guess, 100% when he came back in '95, and then them getting swept in the playoffs. So try to get these guys back, working with each other and get just kind of getting some games under their belt before the playoffs start.
Right now, I haven't found any information on this yet. I'm not sure if you have, but I would love to know the reason why the Portland Trailblazers decided to vote against it and what they believe were the better outcomes or the better options, and what option did they consider to be the
The
best.
best. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, maybe somebody will eventually kind of, speak out on that. I mean, my only thing that I'm not sure who exactly voted. Was it the owner? Was it the team president? Was it a representative from the Players Association? Um, so I'm not even sure on that. Maybe if somebody's watching, if they want to look that up, like who actually voted for this in the NBA's plan to restart. But I guess the only thing I could possibly think of for them saying no is just even though they were in it or going to be in it, they didn't think the risk of the COVID stuff still being, out. So they didn't think that was a good idea to jeopardize their players' health.
Uh,
And maybe they have some guys that are still out. I mean, they still have guys that are out or injured, hurt. So that would be my only rationale for them voting no. Because when I first
so
read it, I read it and I was like, okay, they voted no, and then I kept reading the article and I realized that they were one of the teams that was still in it from the West. I was like, that's interesting that they voted no.
yeah, well,
But Jimmy, sorry, Jimmy had a question about when is baseball coming back, and I know for
2021, 2021. These boys can't get their together. Okay, the MLB Players Association. I actually have to. I agree with them because they already are given a prorated, of their salary. So what they should do, just meet in the middle. 82 games. They get a prorated part of their salary. The owners get some games. They get, the
so you're
home
saying
game.
they will not start before December.
No,
So they're going to wait all the way until next. So this season's a wrap.
based on the financial agreement. So the owners want the
'Cause see, I
players
yeah, I
to
thought
not
that they
only give up their to not only give up the prorated of their games, but now they want them to give up more. The players are like, we'll do prorated games, but we're not going to give you any more money to cover it. But I really do believe, like, if Major League Baseball did it similar to the NBA with that lost salary going to like an escrow account, I think that would be more amendable. But the owners won't too damn much. The players aren't going to give in to the owners. There's such a large gap that unless they figure this out within the next month, personally, I want to see baseball because I want to play fantasy baseball, but I don't see it happening until 2021, and that sucks because, like the Braves, they got Freddie Freeman. He's gonna be another year older. Can he keep up that production?
right.
The young guys don't get a chance to develop. We need to see Austin Riley can put up or shut up. Um, that's
Right.
where my head is at right now.
Yeah, I know. I thought I saw at one point that baseball was kicking around the idea of like 114 games or something like that, kind of getting a later start. But I know things are constantly changing, and just this COVID stuff still has not obviously gone away, and I think people are afraid of it. Kind of peaking again. Hate to, again, we don't really want to broach the subject too much, but with some of these riots and stuff going on with the mass gatherings of folks, we might see that increase. And I know
Right.
that apparently down in Florida they've seen quite a spike since the state has kind of opened up. I guess they did like a phase 2 opening up. They opened up some beaches.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of people gathering certain places, and I think they've already started to see a spike. Now that doesn't, just because the spike, it could have happened technically before. You know, I mean, we're just now getting these results. Again,
Yeah.
some results take up to a week, some are shorter than that. So it's just a, you know, the numbers can always be technically skewed one way or the other, however you're looking at it.
Look, my wife and I are going to Florida in like 2 weeks. Don't have that mess around us when we go down there.
Just wear your mask. So even when you're swimming,
That's right.
put it on. So again, folks, yeah, you know, that are watching. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, man?
What up, Kev?
So this is something I was just going to talk about, and I'm kind of glad Kevin messaged. So what's really interesting is I'm a big, I guess, wrestling fan, WWE. I always still want to call it WWF, but WWE fan, and now they got this new promotion, AEW. So, and I was talking about this with some people last night, but what's interesting is like wrestling, and yes, you know, it's not necessarily a sport, it's entertainment, but how these wrestlers can get in the ring and fight each other. You know, some of them obviously don't wear their shirt, they're wearing the little spandex, you know, bikini shorts and all that stuff. So me and you, just say it's me and you, we're wrestling. So we're sweating. So I'm able to wrestle you, you know, but yet, like baseball, for example, they can't play baseball right now. But I mean, the only time. What's that?
In America, but
well,
you can in Korea.
Right. So yeah, it is a sport. I agree, Kevin. I'm just saying World Wrestling Entertainment. I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, so let's take baseball for this was what was brought up last night. So baseball. So I've got the ball, I'm the pitcher, and I throw it. Okay. One or two things are going to happen. It's either going to be hit or it's not going to be hit. So if it is hit, okay, then it's going to either go in the air, it's going to be a home run, or it's going to be fielded. Okay, so the only person that's technically touched the ball with their hand right now is the pitcher. The ball's hit. Now I'm fired. I was already fired. So now the only other person to, after it's been hit, to touch it is the fielder, whoever it gets thrown at. So, I mean, or if it's, let's say, a swung and missed, okay, so now the catcher catches it, he throws it. So what I'm getting at is, I mean, it's just really, to me, it's really odd that, you know, something like that, as simple as maybe 2 or 3 people touch it, you know, touch that baseball in the span of 5 minutes. Is that ball really going to be carrying COVID, but yet 2 or 3 guys can be wrestling each other, you know, grabbing onto each other, touching each other?
Well, from a safety standpoint, I would just say after each batter. Now, they would have to have more balls for this, but just after each batter, new ball is out.
Right.
I mean, that might be one way, or maybe you can create the technology to where those baseballs sanitize themselves.
Yeah, then they really are juiced, right?
I mean, they're already juiced.
So, but no, it was just something me and some people were talking about last night. So it was just like, you know, and I mean, both companies, WWE and AEW, you know, they've had different ways of handling the fans. They've started using wrestlers for fans and everything that aren't really necessarily fighting that night. You know, to use them as extras. Well, but I don't know. It just seems really odd to me that they're able to technically get away, and I haven't looked into it, so I don't know. Kevin probably knows. He's the man when it comes to wrestling stuff. So they can wrestle each other. They can touch each other. They can sweat next to each other. Last week, some guy was bleeding, and he still fought. And so, and there's been times where they've had just over 6 people gathered together next to each other.
Right.
So I'm confused on the whole thing, I guess.
Well, okay. So I know they've had like MMA fights.
Right. UFC was fighting. They fought last night.
Right. So you have your 2 fighters you have like your trainers,
And
and
an
then you
official.
have official, and then you have the scantily clad
Right.
ring girls. So I mean, per social distancing guidelines, that seems to be, within 10. I mean, if you have nobody else in the stands or use, sound effects
Right.
to to simulate a crowd, like the NBA is actually considering using 2K special effects. I mean, wrestling can do the same thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, my thing, I mean, and I'll just use, when Jimmy mentioned baseball. So with baseball, I mean, the mount of the plate is 66 feet, 6 inches, or whatever it is, 60 plus feet, 60 feet, 6 inches, whatever it is. So really, I mean, at the plate is where you're going to have the most people because you're going to have the batter, the catcher, and the ump. That's three people. Two of them are wearing masks, technically, you know, covering their face for the most part. Um, so, and then the bases are 90 feet away from each other. Um, Outfielders, they're out there all by themselves. So to me, that seems like more of a sport that could get started back,
Sooner.
right away, sooner than basketball, because basketball, you're going to have 10 people on the court. You're going to have, what is it, 3 refs? So
Yep.
you're going to have 13 people on the court, and I mean, let's just take it for like in 1980 when the NBA, you had to play man. So you had to be like, within a certain amount of distance from from who you were guarding. So to me, again, basketball seems like one of the ones that is I don't know, least likely. I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there, and I'm so ready. Trust me, I'm ready. I'm ready for it to get back. So I mean, we're actually able to start tomorrow at the high school level.
Good.
We're able to start practicing. However, we can't use for right now. We can't use sports specific equipment. So like football can't be using a football. We can't use a basketball, and that's coming from the state.
Okay.
So that's not a school thing. That's state mandated.
Let's see.
So, but yeah.
Okay. So I'm guessing you guys will be running plays without the ball, or
Well, right
working
now,
on
all we're gonna
formation.
do, we're just gonna condition.
Okay.
We're gonna do. I mean, all the teams have different little things, and like we're gonna have to be like our boys basketball team. We're gonna be in the gym from technically we've got from like 7:45 to 9:45 in the morning is going to be our time frame, and then the girls, they won't be able to come in until like 10 or just after 10 because they gotta allow us time to clean the gym, spray it, that whatever we use. So I mean, we gotta clean it the best we can. Like if we were to go in the weight room, we would have to allow 15 minutes or so to wipe everything down, clean everything down before the next group comes in. And the other kicker for this whole thing is no more than 20 people in an area at one time. That's players and coaches together. So we've got 3 coaches. So the most we can have is like 17 players at one time.
So are you gonna do it like position specific?
Well, right now we're just doing, we're going to stretch them. We're going to do some running conditioning. I mean, I guess technically we could do some like basketball style movement conditioning. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily just running the whole time. But yeah, we can't use a basketball. Football can't use a football. Cheerleaders can't use a cheerleading mat because that's specific to their sport. I know the softball coach had talked about getting water guns for her girls, and they're gonna have like water gun fights, and then that way they're running around chasing each other, trying to squirt each other with the water gun. But they're still, that way it's not necessary. It's not seen that the running or conditioning is not seen as boring. I mean, it's a way to kind of liven it up, or like a water. I mean, for instance, we could have like a water balloon fight. If they're running around chasing each other.
Hey, what would be really cool if like some of these like high school teams. You remember how when we played like NCAA football, we used to like create like our high school teams
Right.
for that. Maybe using some of the technology that's in place to kind of simulate, what they would do on the football field or the basketball
Right.
court.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
it's
would
gonna
be
be
cool.
hard for. Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard for baseball since you do have like Tap Baseball 2020.
Yeah, not many baseball games out there.
No, bring back the baseball game. Bring back MVP baseball. RBI is trash.
College World Series.
Yes, right.
So hopefully the college games will start coming back out again with everything passing. We've talked about that before. Finally the players can kind of get paid for their image. So hopefully those college games will start coming back out. Folks here that are viewing, again, if you've got a comment or question for us, feel free to drop it. If you actually want to get in on the show, you can message me, or just say I want to come on. You can leave a comment, and if I'm friends with you or whatever, I can drop the link to you in a message. So we're just kind of hanging out, chilling. We had kind of had plans to talk about just the craziness going on in our country, but the other guys in our group could not make it this evening, and I feel that they definitely have a voice and they need to be heard. So we're going to hold off on that. Probably be another week or so before they are able to get on. But we were just, we've talked about the NBA coming back and what's the plan for some of these other sports. Again, UFC is still going strong. Wrestling is going on. NBA starting back. So what's the plan for, and I guess NASCAR and the Indy Series, they've been racing. So there are some sports going on. There was the golf thing a couple weeks ago with Tiger. It was Tiger and Peyton, right? Tiger and Peyton versus Brady and Phil Mickelson. I don't know if you watched that. Did you watch any of it?
No, I did not watch it. However, I kind of followed it through like Bleacher Report and reading the comments. I think they raised like a little bit over 20.
Yeah, it was like 20 million. Yeah, they actually had raised, I think, just under. They were like 19 million something, and I believe it was like TNT or one of those had decided to generate it up to 20 mil. So
now, who won?
Sorry, I was looking at the message you sent me. Tiger and Peyton won, I believe. It was like they won by like one stroke. So Brady and Mickelson made a comeback for a while, and then they were just unable to. So they lost by one stroke. Yes. So our title, the title for our social justice segment would be called "United We Stand, Kicking It with Kickstand." I love it. So that's what we can call that one when we're able to do that. So, but
see, you know me, I just like to rhyme. Drake said, ballers and athletes, ballers and rappers are the same because we want to be them and they want to be us. So I'm an athlete. I gotta want to
rap. And then I'll be honest, I heard about this, what I'm about to bring up, and you and I hadn't even talked about this. But so I had seen the previews for it, and I vaguely remember. But this movie, Just Mercy. Apparently, I mean, you can whatever you're thinking, we can talk about that
look,
too.
I was thinking about something totally else.
Oh, okay. But no, this movie, Just Mercy, apparently it's now free to stream on most platforms, is what I'm seeing and hearing. So have you watched it yet?
No, I need to be in a position to where I can watch it.
The whole thing?
With full concentration. Well, right. I wouldn't say watch the whole thing. Look, it took me about a week to watch Grown Ups, okay? I just have to be kind of like in that mode. Sometimes like my wife and I, when we watch shows, we can't watch things that are like too heavy, especially like right before bedtime. So, keeping with that spirit, it's just based on the mood.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
it
So I
looked,
didn't know, like I said, I remember seeing the previews when it first was coming out. And then I guess I kind of had forgotten about it. And then now all of a sudden I'm seeing all this stuff about it's going to be free to stream. So
well,
it
I'm
has
glad
Jamie Foxx in it. It has Michael B.
Michael
Jordan.
B.
So it says I'm on Wikipedia, so you can take that for what it is. But it says it tells the true story of Walter McMillan, who, with the help of a young defense attorney, Brian Stevenson, appeals his murder conviction. So the film is based on the memoir of the same name, written by the lawyer Brian Stevenson. So it received positive reviews, and Jamie Foxx received a nomination for Outstanding Performance by a Male Actor and a supporting role at the 26th Screen Actors Guild Awards. So apparently the story takes place in 1989. I think the guy is accused of killing like a young girl. He's accused of the murder of a white woman.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, it does kind of, I do, like I said, I remember seeing it. So it does look interesting. I'll probably have to check that out at some point. Because again, it's free. It's free to view. It's on probably, I don't know, Amazon, Hulu. There's a few, those streaming. Just look it up.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I've seen it being bounced around that it's free to stream right now.
Yeah. And I saw it yesterday, and I clicked the link, and I'm like, where? Like, you don't tell us where. It's like,
Right.
What? We're supposed to figure this out for ourselves. And then you had posted it this morning, and I loved it. And somebody else.
I just shared it like yesterday. I just shared it, and I didn't even read the article. So I had no idea. But then, yeah, like you said, someone had responded and said it's like on most of the streaming platforms. So I hadn't had a chance to look it up yet.
Yeah, but I'll probably will watch it tomorrow. Okay, so I didn't know you was going to talk about Just Mercy. Okay, I thought you were going to talk about the preview of the upcoming 30 for 30. I think Summer of Baseball with Mark McGuire and Sammy Casper Sosa.
Yeah, I think that starts next week, and then tonight is actually the Be Water, my friend. It's the Bruce Lee.
Ooh.
I think tonight's the Bruce Lee one. So I need to set my DVR or whatever to record it because I plan on watching the wrestling pay-per-view. Okay. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure tonight's the Bruce Lee. It's just a one episode, and then I'm pretty sure the Sosa McGuire is two episodes.
Really?
I believe so.
Well, like, if you get a chance to watch the clip of the trailer of it, I think it's going to be really good. I'm glad that they're showcasing this right now.
Right.
Pay attention to the end of the trailer because Bob Costas says something, and he makes a lot of sense. I can't remember what it is exactly, but he talks about how, basically, baseball sold to soul, like, around that time because things were juiced and people they both use PEDs. But seeing that clip, I'm like, I just want to ask Sammy Sosa one question, and that question is, why did you bleach your skin, man? Like
I knew that was coming.
He was a good looking dude, like Dominican Republic. I'm like, okay, got that soft side. But now you like, some Casper stuff.
Hey, Mama Melton.
Hey, Mom. Hey, y'all.
Mama Melton. Yeah, but yeah, the whole Sosa thing. I mean, like I've said before, we've joked about it backstage and in one of the other podcasts, I think, with the other guys. But I mean, Sosa, it was like the Michael Jackson disease, I guess. I mean, my dude was very dark. I mean, he was dark skinned, and then all of a sudden he is just about as white as I am now.
Yeah.
Very, very close to it. So yeah, I did not understand the whole bleaching. I mean, unless it was the steroids, I don't know.
I mean that's possible, but it's without diving too much, there's always been this kind of like colorism complex to where some darks they want to be light because they feel like they imply, well, being lighter means other fairer skin, we can they'll treat us better. And then on the lighter end, it's like, well, maybe be darker because now people calling us Casper and stuff like that. So I just wish, just be beautiful in your own skin.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, that was an interesting time. I think it was the summer of '98. Those guys just kind of started battling for that home run record. So it was kind of interesting. They would always, they would, even if another game was on, if I recall, they would sometimes go to like a live feed of when McGuire or Sosa was up at bat.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly. So I think I was in 9th grade or so when that was going into the 9th grade. So we appreciate those viewing. If you've got a comment or a sports related question for us, please feel free to drop it right there in the comment section. I will upload this later to YouTube. So if you want to go to my YouTube channel, you can probably look it up as well, Kicking It with Kickstand, and go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Tyler, and I've got Napoleon Melton joining me, one of my college buddies.
Happy roots.
So, yep. Mama Melton said, yes, be beautiful in your own skin. So, yep, agree with both of y'all there. So again, I just would like to give these guys a plug real quick. Rochester Sports Autographs, shoprsa.com. They've got all kind of sports memorabilia with autographs, and it comes with a letter of authenticity. Again, they sent me this Quan Alexander jersey.
That jersey is
so. Yeah, I was completely blown away that they did follow through and send me that. So he played this guy Quan Alexander. He went to LSU. I think he was drafted by the Bucks, but he now plays for the 49ers. I think he led the league in tackles one year. So that was really cool. I have an unboxing video on that, and I will share that link once I upload this video. I will share the link to that unboxing video as well.
Now, are you gonna put a frame for it?
Yes, I plan on getting a frame. I had another buddy ask me about that, so I do plan on getting a frame for it. I just have not had the time yet to scope it out and figure out exactly how I want the jersey to kind of be presented.
Look, they should have sent you two, so you can wear one. Look, that orange color, is that like the Tampa Bay one?
No, it's the Chiefs. I mean, 49ers.
49.
So it's red.
Look, it looks orange. Okay, it's kind of like that dress. Is it blue or is it green?
Let me get it. I'll grab it. I had it kind of just sitting on some stuff. Ooh. Got stuff that I knocked down. So it doesn't necessarily have the 49ers logo on the front or anything.
Oh, that's definitely red. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah. So let's see.
I mean, my blood runneth orange. I mean, we know that.
That made it worse. So, but yeah. So here's.
Oh yeah.
His autograph. So it was. I saw the K and then I see an S. It looks like. So I was very unsure of what it was at first. So I had to look up the name. So I'll just kind of sit it there for now. Well, I'll just put it behind me.
Another day. That's a fresh hat, man. That bitch with a nest, man. 49ers.
Yeah. My Sixers, representing the Sixers.
That's right.
So, no, my wife got me this, and because we were going to Philly for the Army Navy game, but then so my wife got me this made. So this says my best friend, and this is actually my dad when he was.
Yeah.
This was in honor of my dad. So she brought it home one day, and I was like, "What?" So that was really cool. So yeah, we went to. Cool. Changed you. If you've watched the show before, I've kind of changed the camera angle a little bit. So my sister, her husband, and then my wife and I, we all went to the. We were able to go to the Army Navy game last year. So this is a picture of it. So, but anyway, now Clemson have to represent Clemson.
That's right. See you.
Yeah.
Hey, they should have sent you 2 because you could have gave one to our homie D. Crate. 49ers.
That's right. Yep, he was a big 49ers fan. Other than when playing Madden with Vic on the cover, and he would pick the Buffalo Bills, and he would change the quarterback to Van Pelt.
Van Peasy.
And he was unstoppable. This dude, I can't even remember his name. I just remember his last name was Van Pelt. We called him Van Peasy. And, I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous how good he was with that Joker as the quarterback. So our one of our viewers, longtime viewers, I want a Top-Ek jersey signed, JHA #1 jersey. I do have my jersey. I actually do have both. I have the home and away jersey. So after I graduated, they ended up a couple years after they ended up getting new uniforms. So my dad ended up giving me my jerseys. So, and I have my helmet. The wrong face mask is on it. But
okay, look, I'm gonna need my high school to give me my number 10 basketball jersey back. Look, I need that. Look, I mean, look at my wall. It's bare. Okay, Rochester Sports autographs. Send your boy. I need some stuff. Okay, look, Chapman High. Send me my jersey back. Okay. I'm nice. Senior night, aka Mr. Senior Night. 19 points in a row in 1 quarter. I mean, hook your boy up.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to. I'll pull out my jerseys next show. So we'll think about signing them for you, Ben, just for you. So
anybody want a jersey signed by me? Okay. Nah.
Just tell them you're Just tell them you're somebody famous.
I'm Charles Barkley. So. It's terrible. Terrible.
So
I got the golf swing to prove it.
Speaking of, when I was at Clemson, I was a football manager my freshman year. And for those that know the Clemson games at home, I mean, win or lose, the fans, come onto the field after the game. It's just something they've always done. I don't even know how long they've been doing it. I mean, for a long, long time. So, and I guess people that aren't familiar with it, when they see it, they're like, I mean, y'all beat Duke. Why are y'all running on the field? It's just a tradition. They allow the fans on the field. But I remember, being a manager, and I'm wearing khaki slacks. I've got a polo on, just like the coaching staff and trainers and that are on the sideline too. Well, I'm walking across the field to do something, and this little kid runs up to me and asks for my autograph. I guess he thinks I'm some coach or something. I don't know. And I'm like, bud, you don't want my autograph. I'm nobody. I am a nobody. You don't want it. So.
Oh man, I don't think I ever had any autograph requests as the microphone man. But I do remember at the end of the game, put the mic up and you see the fans coming down, taking pictures with the players. Players would stay a few minutes after. The rally cats would be there as well, and the cheerleader will be there. Good times. Yep. That's all I gotta say. Good times.
Yep. So
and then sometimes you can actually, go up the hill to see the rock.
right. Yep. Well, folks, again, I mean, we've been on almost 50 minutes, and so again, we certainly appreciate the ones that have tuned in and watched. We don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that again we got family obligations that we got to get back to. So we'll hang out for a few more minutes, see if there's any last questions or comments, and so again, it'll probably be, because our schedules keep changing. I'm starting back with practices and stuff, which those will be in the morning. But I know some of these other guys right now they got full-time jobs.
Mhm.
I'm the only one that technically doesn't have one. So, but our times that we kind of go live has changed a few times.
Yeah.
But we do and we will talk about the social injustice, racial injustice going on in our country today at some point. Again, we want the other guys that have been on the show, and we got a newcomer that wants to be on, and he is going on family vacation, and he's not on here. So Dutch Coleman,
Yeah.
he'll be joining us, and he was actually on the Clemson radio. They interviewed him the other day on that. I was able to listen to about 40 minutes of it, and then I had a doctor's appointment I had to go to.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I wanted to listen to it, but I ended up not being able to because work got so busy for me. But I ended up downloading the podcast on through Apple.
right. So yeah, Coach Skinner's a big Georgia Tech fan. So the game he went to, Calvin Johnson scorched us.
Look, I remember that game. Okay, Skinner, I remember that game because that was actually the last game that I was on the microphone as the mic man. I don't know if I told you this story, Tyler, but this is story time. Okay, so right before that game, the Tiger, which is our student newspaper, they had some comments about me as a microphone man. That somebody said, "Well, get rid of me." And word got around, got to the cheerleading coach, and then within under 20 minutes before the start of the game, cheerleading coach comes to me and says, "We're gonna try something different." And I'm like, "What you mean? You want to try something different?" Because my plan was, all right, cool. When I get on this mic, I'm gonna tell this dude, if you want my job, you come down here, you take it from me. I was gonna be ghetto Nappy, okay?
Right.
Now, proper Nappy. I was like, look, I'm about to take it there. Thank goodness he did not allow me to do that because, I pride myself on, being a good person and projecting a good image out there and being authentic with it. But in this instance, that's definitely not the right way to go. There's always going to be people out there that
just try to bring
don't like what you do. So you have to stay focused on, I know what I'm doing and I'm doing it right. And I don't care what you say because I'm going to do me anyway.
Right. Yeah.
So that was about 16, 15 minutes before the game. So I'm down on the field, cheerleading coaches. I learned, don't have the mic that close. So I started having it out. So I wasn't as loud, to start off with. But the cheerleading coach, he would always take that mic and put it all the way here. And you just hear, crackle, crackle, crackle. And people, it just created a unenjoyable listening experience.
Yep.
So the game started, he's calling out the cheers and stuff like that. But I guess the reason why they, did the comment for me is because the Wake Forest game, there was a cheer that I did that we typically do when we're up. Cheerleading coach told me to say it, and I did it. We were down at that time. I did actually hear some boos at that time, and stuff like that. So I get that, but at the same time, I've learned I was controlled at the time.
Right.
But at the same time, I should have known, don't do this shit, because that's I should have been more thoughtful on that, because you can tell me to do anything. I choose either to do it or don't. But anyway, so back to the Georgia Tech game. So I'm there, and first quarter is playing. I'm not on the mic, and then there's some of my loyal fans. They're sitting up in the stands. They're like, "How come you're not on the mic?" And I was like, "Ask cheerleading coach right there. Ask him." And then in my mind, I'm like, "All right, if it gets towards the second quarter, I'm just gonna peacefully walk out of the stadium." It got to the second quarter. I peacefully walked out of the stadium. I didn't talk to anybody. I just walked out, and I said, "This is a complete waste of my time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be anyone's puppet."
Yeah.
And I remember at the end of that game, we did lose, and Kevin Johnson scorched Justin Miller, 5'9" of them. Yeah, you made the NFL, but you 5'9". You didn't do well in the NFL. That's all I'm gonna say. But I remember that same night, our buddy Will and I, we went downtown, we went to Tiger Town, and we were playing picture cat. We were reenacting Kevin Johnson. Like, it was hilarious. That's why I laughed when Skinner made that post. I'm like, yeah, I remember that.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard that story from you. So I appreciate you sharing that with us.
I knew it was gonna come out one of these days.
So, all right, folks. I guess we'll kind of wrap things up and call this the end of it. I'm about to come up on 52 minutes, so I'll wait 3 more minutes to see if any other questions or comments come up. Again, if you have a sports-related question you'd like to ask us, I mean, anything really. Again,
KIWK.
sports-related, so it can be something silly, it can be something serious. So we'll hang out just a couple more minutes, and then we'll get back to having have a good one. All right, Coach. You have a good one as well, bud.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, Coach Skinner, we ended up working together for a few years, and then he typically joins in and adds to the conversation. So thanks for tuning in, Coach.
Appreciate you, Coach.
Yeah, we'll have to get him on sometime.
Yeah.
So
I know, you're a coach, Tyler, but I remember being on the Coach's Corner Sports Talk Show in Spartanburg 12 years ago. So the guy who started that sports talk show was broadcasting company, actually went to high school with my mom.
Okay.
Which was cool. And I love listening to coaches' stories.
Right.
Because they end up being hilarious in some way, shape, or form. So I know Coach Skinner got some good ones.
Oh yeah, we have quite a few together, and then I'm sure he's got some others, I'm sure. So, but anyway, I guess we'll kind of call it a night, and unless there's anything else you want to add, Nappy, throw in your go ahead and plug your DJ stuff.
All right. I'm a DJ. My DJ handle is DJ Meltron. That's Meltron. You can find me on Instagram. You can also friend me on Facebook at facebook.com/Napoleon Melton Jr. Or you can just type in DJ Meltron. It'll probably pop up my personal Facebook page, and it also may pop up my business page as well. I'm in the process of branding my DJ and then branding Nappy's Roots at the same time. So y'all check me out. Meltron Mondays is in the works of getting rebranded, and I'm gonna start posting my live feeds through Mixcloud Live, because that's the only way that I can do it legally. So all the DJs that are doing it through Facebook and whatnot, some of them do get muted. Some of them, they do take down their live feeds.
Right.
So
Okay.
it's taking me some time, but now I got all the equipment that once we leave here, time to get everything set up.
Right. All right. Good deal. So now we again just thank everybody for tuning in and watching, and we will catch you next time. Peace.
Hey, peace up, A-Town down.
All right, man.
Hey,
Take it
love
easy,
you,
bud.
bro. Hey,
I'll see
take
you.
it easy, man.